the personal interview, which is also called Vacha. In the conduct of this, before the candidate is called in, the PIQ is read by the interviewing officer, which gives him a general information about the candidate. In fact, not general, a lot of information, including the OAR that you score. It gives a rough idea about the candidate, and he makes a threshold key. The candidate has to operate at this level based on the way the candidate has represented himself in the PIQ form. And once he does that, the candidate is called in by the interviewing officer. So you go inside the interviewing room, you do this good morning, good evening and all that, and he wishes you, shake hands up over here. You go and sit on the chair which is indicated by him. Once he does that, he does a casual talk which is called rapport building. The aim of that is to make you comfortable. It is equivalent to the pre-briefing in the GTO series. Before the group discussion starts, there is a pre-briefing. If you have seen those briefing videos, you will know. Similarly, here also there is a rapport building. Once that rapport building is over, the aim of the rapport building is make the candidate comfortable before the actual interview starts. And then once this stage is over, next starts the comprehensive information questionnaire, which is called the CIQ. The interviewing officer asks a set of questions, series of questions on various domains of your life, and essentially what he's doing is he is trying to understand your past history on various parts: academics, social, parents, your family, your professional relationship, if you're married, your married relationship, sports, education, in various domains. Essentially, past history covered in parts. You can see below the PIQ it is written, CIQ it is written. What it means is your life has gone through a developmental process. It is called lifespan development, which starts from your mother's womb until you go and reach the interview room, and in fact further also. So psychology may concept a personality formation over years. So over this, there are multiple influencing factors that have acted on you, and there are multiple domains of life in which you have operated. When you're born, you were a son or a daughter to your parents. Then you grew up, you became friends, you became a student, you became a college student, and now you are going for a candidate. Multiple domains of life, your social life, professional life, health life, family life, multiple domains are there. So CIQ consists of multiple domains. So let's see some of them which he ask you. First is family oblique early home background. So he asked a set of questions. We will not do that here because you must have already gone through in the CIQ questions in the set of that for both for civilian entry and field service entry. Would have gone through that. So he asked those set of questions, and then you reply vacha through your oral communication, power of expression ko use karke you give your response to that CIQ, and he starts recording it. Whatever is essentially records it. He's also observing your verbal and non-verbal communication, which also is an indicator for him. In fact, 75% of our communication is non-verbal. And the next domain is educational background, 10th, 12th, graduation, post-graduation. So 10th onwards, and in case of a Sainik school or a military school student, then it starts from the time when you join, because you're shifting from your home. There is adjustment issues, there are so interpersonal issues, a lot of things, and then you come to 10th and 12th. So depending upon what is that, hostel things and all those things. Next is your work history. This is for people who are in the job, both civilians and for service entry. There are CIQ related to your work history. Next, spare time, hobbies and interests. There is a separate, complete CIQ on your hobbies and interests, current affairs and all that. General knowledge, defense related knowledge, social awareness, and last is self-evaluation. We will not go into the details of it since already covered in the previous chapters, that is understanding comprehensive information questionnaire. Those sets you have already seen it. Now, based on whatever you reply, the interviewing officer carries out an evaluation of those while you are replying, and wherever he has doubts, he marks it and asks probing question to confirm whether whatever you are saying is right or wrong, या कोई manipulation है, वो अपना तरीके से करता. We'll see all that thing. And having done that evaluation, he now has to convert that into suitable, OLQ or the shades of OLQ that is emerging. And this he does it based on certain parameters. So this video lecture, we will see what are those indicators of OLQ in IO technique, which he is able to extract based on the response that you are given on the various CIQ and the way he evaluates it. So we will see that, and we will take each factor, and under each factor we will take each of these OLQ separately. So we'll have 4 chapters in this video lecture. Factor 1, which will consist of all the 4. Factor 2, which will consist of 3. Similarly, factor 3 and factor 4. And factor 1 corresponds to your IQ. It's the indicators of your, qualities of your intellect. Factor 2 is about your interpersonal skills, or the EQ. Similarly, factor 4 is leadership or social effectiveness, and factor 4 is dynamics. So we'll go one by one in each of them, and I will request you to comment and tell me how these videos are helping you, and so that, and any suggestion also if you have, you can give it to me so that I can incorporate it in the further modification of those videos in the subsequent parts. So I hope this video will help you. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you very much. Now, in the indicators of OLQ in IO technique, the first OLQ we'll take is under factor 1, that is planning and organizing, and the first OLQ is effective intelligence. Now, the factor 1, planning and organizing, is part of the intelligent quotient. To measure your intelligent quotient, represent the IQ of yours. And effective intelligence, let's see, for the purpose of definition, Hindi mein it's called समस्या को सुलझाने का कौशल, effective intelligence. The definition says it is the intelligence utilized in coping with practical situations of varying complexity. Effective intelligence includes practical intelligence and resourcefulness. Practical intelligence, it is the capacity to evolve independent solutions of practical problems and situations. Resourcefulness, the capacity to put to use the available means for the desired end. It may be said to contain 2 factors. First is improvisation of a solution, and second is ability to find a solution when in a tight corner. Now we will not dwell over it, since we have already covered all the 15 OLQs in great detail in the video series by the name OLQ Decoded, and I'm sure you would have seen it. If not, request you to kindly go and watch them, because the explanation of these in detail is given there. So we'll straight away get into the indicators. When you respond to various CIQs, how does the interviewing officer extract, certain indicators which shows the existence or non-existence of effective intelligence or practical problem solving in a candidate. So let's see this. The first is your academic performance. How well or how inconsistently you have performed over the academic performance over your life. Now, 2 domains are important: your school performance and your college performance, depending upon what entry you're going. If you're going for NDA and TS, it is your school performance. If you're going for CDS and above, then it is school plus college / technical knowledge. Those things are there, right? Now, for the purpose of understanding, we will take my example, and once you understand that, you can put your own examples and see where do you stand and how would IO rate you in the domain of your academic performance, and how would he rate him in this particular OLQ, that is effective intelligence. So this is my 10th certificate, and this is my mark sheet. So I got 53.73 in 10th, which is low. And then this is my 12th marks from Goa. I was at Goa in 10th and 12th, and I got 42% in 11th, and then I'm 12th dropout. That's why I have to take this certificate 12th. So 53.73 10, 42 in 11th and 12th dropout. Now I did not finish the 12th. Instead, I joined the army as a Jawan on 8 July 1985. So one question I'm sure आपके मन में आएगा कि आपने सर 12th क्यों नहीं complete किया? I did not do it because I did not want to study, and there was constant मम्मी पापा से डांट मिलता था. I thought कि एक नौकरी मिल जाएगा तो पढ़ाई के झंझट से छूट जाएगा, which was subsequently turned out to be wrong. So this is me as a sipahi after dropping from 12th. And you can see my academic track record has been extremely poor. And if you were my interviewing officer, I'm sure you would ask कि यार बंदा क्यों आ गया. So that's it. Now once I joined army, I realized I made a mistake. I'll not explain it. Then I decided to do my 12th. So for that, I did it from Directorate of Army Education. So I didn't do it from civil, I did from the army. And this is my 12th mark sheet cum certificate. And this is in uniform. This is my batchmates with whom I did. Couple of instructors are sitting in the front. And the marks that I got was 57.8. So definitely not a good performance. So one video that will ask you to watch is in the AFOSOP YouTube channel, that is how to handle your mistakes and eliminate your weakness in life. Now here I have shown my own journey from that 53.73 to what I am doing today, including post commission. पोस्ट कमीशन मतलब जब मैं ग्रेजुएट बन गया और उसके बाद जब फौज में ऑफिसर बनने के बाद भी मैंने बहुत कुछ किया. यू कैन सी ए क्लियर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. एंड टुडे द वेरी फैक्ट दैट आई एम सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, आई हैव मेड सम चेंजेस. बट व्हेन आई वेंट टू एसएसबी, दिस वाज माय कंडीशन. एंड विद दिस इनपुट you can see कि my track record when I went to the SSB was not good. I'm asking you, what is your academic track record? Do you think it is a consistently high, or a high to low decreasing, or a low to high increasing, or a medium you are continuously low? What kind of a academic performance are you able to observe in your own self? And with this I went to the SSB interview, है ना. भोपाल में गया था. I don't remember, 20 SSB I think. So this is my marks, and I'm sure in the educational background में when the rapid fire you call it rapid fire, or the CIQ would have been asked, I would have replied. What kind of an impression do you think the interviewing officer will make with this kind of a track record of mine when I went to SSB? 53.73, 42, 12 dropout. Subhadra Major Saab ka beta joined the army as a Jawan because didn't want to study, and later did his 12th from the army with 57.8, and now he is here for the interview. Unfortunately, I got recommended. Will not get into that. Those details are given in the previous video that I referred, so do that. Now the question is, when the interviewing officer would have carried out the evaluation of whatever I have said, do you think he would have made a very good opinion about me as far as my academic domain is concerned? I don't think he would have made, but still he cleared, and he cleared with extremely good marks. Subsequently, I came to know that I did extremely well in this technique. So what do you think? How will you rate me? If you have to question me, how would you rate me? मेरे केस में this is a weak domain, academic domain, at the point when I went to the SSB. Today it may have improved. So what is your PIQ saying? Is it a strong PIQ or a weak PIQ? And what indicators of OLQ it will show when the IO goes through yours? And what explanation that you're going to give to justify, or to explain कि why you perform the way you perform? तो जरा इसके बारे में सोचना और कमेंट डालना. Next is effort put in and result achieved. So looking at your academic performance, he would like to know what are the various efforts that you have put in, whether it is tuition है, self study है, revision कितना किया, जिसके कारण you have achieved this. So in my case it is definitely bad. What is your case? है ना? Efforts put in your academic domain, and what is the result that you achieved. Next is drop in education. For example, if you again see this, mine is a low declining performance, not even from high declining, it is low and going down. And then after joining the army, I started performing. So question is, you will be questioned. आपसे सवाल पूछा जाएगा, आपको बताना पड़ेगा. Now there are two ways of explaining. One is honestly admit your mistake. Second, लीपापोती. लीपापोती is called defense mechanism. You will be caught, you will be questioned. Unnecessarily आप फंस जाओगे. So जरा check करो. And whatever you explain, what level of intelligence is showing. क्या आप एक इंटेलिजेंट व्यक्ति निकल के आ रहे हो या एक लापरवाह व्यक्ति. नेक्स्ट इज टाइम मैनेजमेंट. 24 आवर आपके पास भी, मेरे पास भी है. हाउ डू यू स्पेंड दिस टाइम, है ना, बोथ एकेडमिक्स में, एसएसबी के प्रिपरेशन में. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ योर इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन स्किल इज वीक, why, what made you keep it low, weak? Did not you get time, or you did not pay attention? So how would you explain कि in the entire COVID 2 years lockdown, why you could not use yourself to use that time to develop yourself, your current affairs, your GK, so public speaking skill, why is it not developed? क्या टाइम नहीं था या इच्छा शक्ति नहीं थी? चेक करो. एंड करंट अफेयर्स एंड जनरल नॉलेज, व्हाई इज इट वीक? क्या आपके पास नेट नहीं चलता, समय नहीं मिलता, या समय मिलता तो वो नहीं करते जो करना चाहिए? ट्राई एंड आंसर इट. Defense related knowledge, why your defense related knowledge is not updated when you say you are a passionate man, you want to join the armed forces? क्यों नहीं आपको आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स, रैंक स्ट्रक्चर, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर, देयर आर सो मेनी मस्ट नो स्टफ. Why are you not updated on that? क्या टाइम नहीं मिला या आपके पास एटीट्यूड नहीं है? Physical fitness, how much time you devote to it? If you are overweight, why are you overweight? What activities are you doing? क्या टाइम नहीं मिलता? चेक करना. And a TV and internet usage pattern. Everybody today has TV and internet facility, Android phones है, उसके बावजूद भी आप updated नहीं हो. So what is the pattern of your TV and internet usage का pattern? Distraction or time wasting activity. So what are the activities you are involved in? Pleasure seeking activity or entertainment activity, which is sheer wastage of time rather than focusing on the goal. So if you set a goal, what are the activities or actions you are taking to achieve that goal? And in terms of organizing yourself for the SSB interview preparation, how much you know about the SSB? How have you devoted your time to prepare yourself? If you have come unprepared on current affairs, public speaking, not building confidence, why have you come? How are you using this time to your advantage and to achieve your goal? तो ये चीज़ें पूछेंगे और इससे इन्फ्लुएंस निकाला जाएगा. What is the level of development of your practical problem solving skills or effective intelligence? Next is success and failures in various competitive examination depending upon what entry are you. If you're a 12th entry or if you're a graduate entry, there are so many examinations, JEE, medical, NDA, CDS, FCAT or other services, UPSC examination, state services ka. And if you've gone through that or not gone through that, why? And if you're not clear why, what are the results? So ये definitely जानना चाहेंगे, because this all shows how well organized are you, how effectively are you able to use your intellectual resources to achieve your aim. इसका एक सही पता चलता है. Next is comprehending CIQ and systematic reply to it. आपको पता है there are multiple CIQs that is asked: family, education, work history, space time, hobbies and interests, general knowledge and self evaluation. And there are a series of multiple questions. आप लोग उसको rapid fire भी बोलते हो. So how well do you comprehend it and how systematic and logically you are able to respond to that? And और या आपको ये grasp ही नहीं हो रहा, आपको सब भूल जाते हो और बार बार बोलते हो सर कैन यू रिपीट द क्वेश्चन, कैन यू रिपीट द क्वेश्चन. सो हाउ अलर्ट आर यू? सो कॉम्प्रिहेंडिंग CIQ and systematic reply to it. So please make sure that you understand the comprehend, don't make rote memory. अपने ऊपर काम करो, अपने आप को पहचानो, and then you will be able to respond to the CIQ much better. Next is comprehending probing questions and giving logical answers. So आप लोगों को सबको पता है CIQ is common for everybody. But what you people are doing is कि आप इसे एक academic questions की तरह याद करके जाते हो. The problem is not CIQ का जवाब देना. That's तो anyway you will be able to give it. What is more difficult is whatever you give the response for the CIQ, he makes certain observation and there are probing or counter questions to that to establish what you're saying is right or wrong. Those questions, there is no limit. He can keep asking. It's like going below the layers of onion. एक लेयर खत्म दूसरे के अंदर कहीं ना कहीं तो अटकोगे. बट अगर आप सतह पे अटक गए तो आप में डेप्थ नहीं है. You are a shallow thinker and you're making loose statements which you are not able to substantiate. For example, if you say I'm determined, he'll ask you 3 incidents explaining that which shows that you're a determined person, and then he may even ask what makes you think that this incident is making you feel that you're determined. So a lot of things are there. So comprehending probing question, probing on your responses and how logically you answer them. Next is handling synthetic situation. What are synthetic situation? These are situations of the nature of SRT that you get in psych test. Psych test mein you are given some situations where you write SRT. Similarly, similar kind of situations, depending upon which factor he wants to probe, he creates and he forces you to respond to that, and to each response he counter questions and probe kar karke he takes you down. This does not happen in psychological tests. You simply write, there's no interaction with you, there's no intervention, there's no seeking clarification. But here the interviewing officer has the liberty of cross questioning you till he is satisfied or till he confirms कि आप झूठ बोल रहे हो या manipulate कर रहे हो. So handling synthetic situation. Synthetically he will create situation like SRT and ask you to verbally speak, and whatever you speak he digs it deeper to take you to see to what level of accuracy you are able to take decisions and making statements to those situations that he is creating. So इसको हम आगे एक सीरीज में करेंगे इसे. नेक्स्ट इज सेल्फ असेसमेंट, दैट इज हाउ वेल यू अंडरस्टैंड एंड इवेल्युएट योरसेल्फ. दिस नीड सेल्फ अवेयरनेस, है ना. SML का जो मॉड्यूल्स है, जोहारी विंडो, लाइफ लाइन एनालिसिस, शॉर्ट एनालिसिस, टोटली डूइंग सेल्फ असेसमेंट. नाउ one thing you have to understand is you're already given a similar self description in SRT, apna psychological test. In that you have already written your parents' opinion, your opinion of teachers, possibly company commander, your friends' opinion about you, your own opinion about yourself in terms of your strengths and weaknesses, and what qualities would you like to develop. Now, this self description is not available with the interviewing officer, but please understand what you write here and what you say now and the justification for that in the interview, they have to be same, because after all there has to be a congruence between psychological test and interview. After all, it is all both being given by the same candidate, so you cannot say something in the interview in the name of self-assessment and something right in the psychological test, because they need to be in sync. So please make sure that you understand yourself. So if you have not already gone through, go through the SML modules where SWOT analysis, Zohari window and lifeline analysis are conducted, and then you will be able to help to understand yourself, rather than googling for your strengths and weaknesses or taking from recommended candidates or writing some branded so-called branding SD from some coaching center. That will not work, because you're misrepresenting yourself in that case. So please be self-aware. The beginning of leadership is by becoming self-aware. So we'll talk about it more. So these are some of the list of indicators that I've given. There are more. I've just focused more on the domain of education, indicators from education, but from life also. Your failures, your response to that, the major obstacle that you face, and how did you overcome the conflicts in friendship, how did you overcome the multiple questions. So I just given you a food for thought, and I'm sure this will help you to trigger more questions to ask yourself and try and respond and see how those indicators those are showing indicators of existence of your practical problem solving skill or the effective intelligence. So that's the definition for effective intelligence. So please do post your comment. How is it helping you? How is this particular video series going to help you in terms of identifying the indicators from your life and your responses about the existence or non-existence of various OLQs? Do give me a feedback and go through the rest of the series. Thank you, and may God bless you. Now, those of you wish to take online AFOSOP personal interview, you can take that, and you can get yourself interviewed by either of them. One is Major General R.S. Bhadoria, who was ex-president 18 SSB and Commandant Selection Center Central Bhopal. He retired on 30th November 2021 and has joined AFOSOP as the interviewing officer. So that's the new addition in our list of faculties, Major General R.S. Bhadoria. Or you can take interview from Wing Commander Sandeep Raj, who is an ex-Air Force Selection Board Dehradun interviewing officer, and he stays at Bangalore. General Bhadoria stays at Pune. So you can opt with whom do you want this interview. General Bhadoria / Sandeep Raj sir, you can contact me and I'll do the needful for you. And in case we wish to register for this personalized interview, this is the number on which you do WhatsApp 827-557-650, and I'll get back to you with the details. And please give me a feedback how these videos are helping you and how these videos are different from others. That also you can tell. Do subscribe it, share with your friends, And I hope these videos are helping you. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.